Hello and welcome to Unravel. My name is Candice, and whether you're new to the space or you've been hanging with me for a little bit, welcome here and welcome back. So if you have been with me for a moment, you would have noticed that the name in the space has changed to Unravel. So from Magic and Musings to Unravel. And the reason for that is my podcast is called Unravel, and the whole sentiment behind Unravel is unraveling from mind. So it kind of made sense to stick to just that, just to I guess my focus word for the year has been simplify, and so I keep forgetting that fact. And so here we are. I've changed the name, so just updating you on that. And also letting you know that it is school holidays, so it might get a bit noisy. Not my kids, because they're resting, they're not feeling great. But the neighbors' kids are out and about, and they are a little bit, they're kids, kids are kids. I have shut the windows, even though I didn't want to, because it is quite humid here, and I'm wanting to get some fresh air, because this is the first day in like days that we haven't had any rain. So I have dulled the noise down a bit, but I'm just pre-warning you, if it gets noisy, that is why. Okay, so today's video, we're diving into what's going on for the water signs, so Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. We're just tuning into the current energy, seeing what's going on, seeing what needs to be reflected on. And I'm already witnessing some stuff in the body. So just making note of the solar plexus. I'm going to make notes as I go along. Okay, let's open up the space and give ourselves a moment to pause before this energy completely takes over. So if you are able to put your feet on the ground, I encourage that. However, if you are relaxed on the couch or relaxed on your bed and your feet are up, that is okay too. The whole purpose of this is just to get into a really receptive state, or to come into a place of balance, groundedness, connectedness. So whatever that looks like for you, whatever that feels like for you, do that. So I'm just going to get comfortable in the seat, adjust myself somewhat. And taking a moment to witness your breath. Taking some deep breaths in your own time. Focusing on inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth, with a little pause at the top of either end. So the intention is to take a really deep belly breath, like take as much oxygen in as you can, and on the exhale, release everything out. Release what is no longer required. Let's finish up on one more deep inhalation and exhalation. And if your eyes are shut, just bringing them to open-eyed awareness, slowly bringing your attention back to the screen, taking your time, orienting back into your space by looking around really slowly, if it feels comfortable for you to do so. Okay. There is a bit of an energy that is being sensed right now, but it's not very clear. So we'll see what happens as we go along, see what comes through. So again, this is for Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. And also do make sure, if you haven't already subscribe to this channel, I mean, feel free to do so, and also hit the notification bell, because any videos coming from this channel will be a bit sporadic over the coming weeks because of school holidays. So just bear that in mind, and I wouldn't want you to miss any videos, so do make sure that you click that bell. We are ready. Okay, so let's get some overall energy going. Let's see what's going on for our water signs. I'm seeing Venus card, beloved. Show us what we need to see. Seeing Vesta, which is hearth. There's just a need, again, I'm seeing this card, Venus, beloved. As I was saying before, I'm just witnessing some stuff. It's gone now. There's a need to relax, for sure. There's a need to relax. And oh, this is what was sensed. Be very mindful of your breath. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go there. This fucking Leo rising energy trying to come through here. Pay attention to the depth of your breath, because there's this energy of it being really shallow, as in you're breathing from your throat. So deep belly breaths. All right, show us what we need to see for the water signs. What do the water signs need to reflect on or contemplate on? What is the overall energy, the overall vibe? We've got 10th house authority. Anything else? Hey. Hearing Sagittarius. We are in Sagittarius season currently, even though this is a timeless read. We are almost at the end of Sagittarius season. Oh, excuse me. You might be going through a bit of release of something. Maybe you may be actively trying to release something. Interesting. I said Leo rising energy is coming through, and we've got the Leo card. Also got tension, and I just had this card come out in the fire sign reading, so you might actually be dealing with a Sagittarius or a Leo. They're both fire signs or Aries. And 10th house authority, that reminds me of Aries card. So it's like What is going on here? Let me just make those notes. Fire signs. Leo, Aries, Sag. There is a energy here of a little bit of conflict. Whether this is internal or whether this is external to you is unclear at this point. But it's about the way you're showing up in the world, in whichever capacity. Leo is a very bold sign that is, you'll pretty much be able to tell Leos from other signs because they're very much out there. They like to, and I'm just speaking to the characteristics of Leo signs. I'm not speaking to individuals here. Generally, they like to be the center of attention. So this may be, there may be some tension in the way you're presenting yourself, the way you are expressing your authority, or perhaps you're stepping into a new authority or a new light, showing up in a different way. And that's creating some kind of tension or some kind of conflict here. I might read a little bit of the 10th house for you. So it says you are being asked to step up and take on the next level of personal authority. It's hard to build something without a clear blueprint, so look at your definition of a strong leader and decide whether you need to amend it. Remember how you felt as a kid about your parents, the school principal, priests, police, and teachers, and observe whether they used their responsibility wisely and encouraged you to develop yours, or whether you needed to rebel to be safe. Notice your relationship to the concept of divine authority and investigate it as if it was something to be feared, ignored, or expanded. Did it offer you safety and refuge? So yeah, this this is about, yeah, you stepping into either a position of leadership, or, and that doesn't necessarily have to relate to business or work. It could be, there may have been some realizations and now you're kind of operating from a completely different space, as in, for some, you may be completely unrecognizable because there's been that many shifts, or you're just taking on a bit more responsibility in the workplace or in your family life. But there is this notion of stepping into, for some, you might even be stepping into like a showing up in public, like perhaps you're showing up more on social media, or perhaps you're stepping up in the community in some way. But there's definitely this notion of, yeah, stepping into this authoritative figure, or this stepping into your light as well here with the Leo. I'm curious to know what this tension is about though. But usually, you know, when we are working on ourselves, when we are unraveling from a lot of programming, and we operate from a different perspective, or we're operating from a different frequency, usually that can create a lot of tension within other people, because either, you know, there's some perceived underlying, how does this want to be said? There may be some projections from people about you stepping up, and because they haven't seen you in that light, they're like, psh, like, who the F does he or she think she is? You know, that kind of vibe. But usually what that is, it's less about you and more about them. So if you are in a space where people are projecting things onto you, it's an opportunity for them. And if it's not them, if this is you, there's an opportunity to look at what is being how you're feeling in terms of if something or someone is triggering you, using that as a opportunity to learn more about yourself or learn more about the other person, and why this is creating this type of response within you. And if it's the other person, it's an opportunity to reflect on what about you stepping into your authority or stepping into your light is pissing people off. You know, not often do we operate from that space. We're usually very quick to judge, very quick to project our shit onto people, as opposed to going within and saying, you know what, maybe I need to work on stepping up. Maybe, you know, maybe seeing you be confident and stepping into a role of leadership, or just confidence in general. People find that very, people do get really antsy about that, and don't necessarily feel comfortable being around someone who exudes a lot of confidence, which is the Leo sign. They exude so much confidence, even if they don't fucking believe it, or even if they don't embody it. It's like that fake it till you make it type of situation. But usually they're just naturally confident. So when someone's naturally confident, people don't tend to like that very often, because in their perception it comes across as arrogant, as like thinking they know it all, comes across as sometimes it can come across as aggressive, or, and I'm not saying this is on you, this is how it's perceived. Sometimes people perceive a person who is confident as, oh, they think so highly of themselves, or they know it all. They think, you know, this and this and this. This is the type of what's going on here. So there's nothing that you need to change. It's just being aware that if there is tension, these are the types of thought patterns that can occur within a person who comes across an individual. Ooh, that was very like, so be very mindful of how you speak as well, like the words that you use, as in be more intentional with the words, because you may actually have eyes on you. Like people might actually be watching you, like watching your next move. So what was being said before, like whatever the fuck it is that was mumbled, it's just about observing, be in a space of observation, observing what people are expressing to you, observing how you're feeling about it, and just accepting that this is just kind of part of it, you know. Like when you are stepping into your either your authoritative self or your true self or your authentic self, it does tend to trigger people. It does tend to question where other people are at and how they're operating in life and what their filters are. I hope that makes sense. Okay, well, let's get into the tarot and see what else we can find out. So yeah, that's solar plexus. Solar plexus. I might read from the yogic path about the solar plexus. Seeing as that's coming up. This is about creativity. Was it solar or sacral? No, it's sacral. My bad. So it's not solar plexus, it's sacral. Sacral chakra. So that's about, yeah, creativity. I'll read it here. Okay. The chakra of creativity, abundance, and pleasure. Let these words be your mantra. Find what fills your cup and pour it all over the canvas of life. This is the time to put your creative projects first, the very ones you've had on the shelf for months. This is also the time to work on shifting your relationship with money and see it as an energetic tool that can bring you great freedom. This is also the time to focus on pleasure, what makes you feel turned on. Learn about Tantra and cultivate Shakti, the divine feminine energy within. Dance around your living room and luxuriously oil your body. Treat yourself the way you would a lover, for you are your life's greatest gift. So this is interesting because this was mentioned in the fire reading before about tending to what lights you up and fires you up. So I did mention the fire signs before, so you might want to watch that reading when it's posted. Just making notes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's get 6 cards. Current energy, obstacles, and advice. Thank you. What do we need to know? What does the... And again, I want to say fire, so, you know, do watch the fire sign reading. There might be some relevance there for you. Okay, 6 cards. What does the water signs need to know? Two more. One. There's this energy of juggling. There is an energy of juggling. We've got 10 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles. So if not juggling, definitely taking on a little bit too much, perhaps. And then we've got Queen of Wands in the middle. So see, some of you, excuse me, hay fever, some may actually be showing up in public form or showing up in a way that is, you know, some people are getting a little bit agitated about it, and that's okay. That's got actually nothing to do with you. So Queen of Wands energy is about being an inspiration, about being in your creative zone of genius, about just doing you and not giving a fuck, you know? Shining Leo energy, shining as bright as a mother effing star. But there are some things that, and I will clarify, there may be some perceived burdens here. Perhaps you're taking on too much. Perhaps you're doing too much. Perhaps there's a bit of juggling, as in maybe wanting to This is about finding the balance between the material, I should say materials down here, the material and, you know, perhaps something that's of a higher frequency. So, you know, either you're on some type of personal growth or spiritual journey, but there's this imbalance of, or decision that needs to be made about what it is that either you want to do or how you want to show up. There's some kind of imbalance here. Well, not necessarily even imbalance, just a decision needs to be made about what that looks like, what showing up in the world looks like. Can you be both? Can you operate from high frequency and still manage like worldly things? Does that make sense? I might pull some more cards on that. What do we want? But you're in your zone. This is showing up in the middle. So at the core of it, you know how you want to show up, you know how you want to operate, you know how you want to inspire people, but there may be, you know, some things happening around you that is contributing to you questioning. Perhaps that's the tension. But in order for us to, and I'm only speaking to those that want to be in a position of leadership or align with the concept of leadership. If that is what if that's what the intention is, then there's a need to lead by example. There is a need to step into that authoritative space, and not a space where you're telling people what to do, a space where you are like embodying your message, embodying what it is that, like either what it is that you teach or lead with. It's a feeling or sense of knowing it on a deeper level, because it's either a lived experience or you understand it so deeply within you. And when you're operating from that space, operating from that embodied trust and embodied knowing, then all this other shit around you, it doesn't actually matter too much. Like those sorts of things just tend to fall away naturally. All right, tell me more about this Two of Pentacles and Ten of Wands. So we've got the World and the Hierophant. So the World card is about closing up a completion of sorts. A completion of perhaps the way you used to show up, like you're not showing up in that way anymore. And there's recognition here. There might be something to do with travel as well. Travel might be involved. Perhaps whatever it is that you're doing or wanting to do, or how you needing to step up, requires you to travel, if not overseas, interstate, or within your area, but moving into like different communities, talking to people, like spreading your message, or you're doing talks or something to that effect. You're getting out into the community And with the Hierophant here, that's about teaching, that's about educating. This is about, you could be either actually teaching people, like educating people in a academic capacity, or spiritual, you might be like a spiritual leader or spiritual coach or that sort of thing. Or you just have you have a lot to share with the world. You have this embodied wisdom or lived experience. So you may have gone through a bit in your life. With this Authority card, here's like these mountains where this guy's climbing these mountains, and you may have been through an literal freaking journey in your life. And so when you speak to people, you can speak from that space of having experienced it and knowing a little bit, like knowing a thing or two about how things have worked. Not to tell people what to do, like tell people, okay, this is how I did it, so this is how you should do it. More like, these were my experiences. It might not work for you. These are the types of processes that I had to go through to get to where I want to go, or get to where I am, having been where I was. I hope that made sense. Made sense in my head. So yeah, you might be teaching from an actual from life experience. So, you know, if you're an older person, sharing your knowledge based on the experiences that you've had, or just being a general guide to people. Tell me about this 10 of Wands. And maybe there may have been some burdens around that before. 5 of Wands. Yeah, there may have been some type of conflict, inner conflict, if that. Where, or if not inner conflict outside of you, as in people that you've had to deal with. And that's created this 2 of Pentacles situation where you're questioning, where you may be questioning, well, should I be going on this path, or should I just stick to what I know? Should I trust in something like a higher power, or trust in the divine, or should I just keep doing what I'm doing, or look for something more material in nature? So there is and again, Leo energy. So Leo is showing up strong here in the water sign reading. Excuse me. We've also got Taurus and fixed sign energy. So Scorpio, Leo again. Aquarius and Taurus. Taurus is here twice. So yeah. Perhaps here with the 5 of Wands clarifying the 10 of Wands. This may have been a situation where, say for example, I'm getting like, you may have questioned your abilities, or your ability to speak to people, or there's been some kind of internal dialogue or feeling overwhelmed because you've been dealing with people projecting at you or telling you what they think, or not agreeing with what it is that you want to do. Some kind of clash of egos, if you will. Or even competitiveness, if it's not related to people that you would usually have a conversation with. This might be actual competition. Perhaps this is where this tension is coming from. And it's feeling heavy. It's like, oh, is there even any point to this? Because I'm constantly having to fight my way through it. Okay. So then we're looking at the obstacles, and in the obstacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. And when that's read, in the obstacles, it's read as the reverse. So there may be a sense or feeling or perhaps even perceived ideas that new opportunities are not available to you. You may feel like you have some missed opportunities. In regards to perhaps finance or some type of stability. And there's just a need to have some foundations in place with the Ace of Pentacles here in reverse that supports this journey that you're on, and with authority as well. Perhaps what is required, what will keep you on track, is planning, is having a clear vision, and staying inspired. Like I'm getting remembering why you started, or remembering what is really important to you. Like tapping back into that energy of why you started doing it in the first place. And deeply trusting your journey. Like sometimes when people, if we're in this space where people are projecting their stuff onto us, and if it's happening that frequently, or if we're not in a grounded or centered space, sometimes we actually take that on and believe it ourselves, and then create a lot of self-limiting beliefs around other people's opinions and perspectives, you know. So yeah, there's a deep need to just trust your process, trust your journey, and focus and redirect that fiery energy, you know, redirect it into what you're doing. So taking all of that, taking what you're, for the most part, we're perceiving everything, right? So taking what's being perceived, if that's the case, and alchemizing that into a creative project, a creative endeavor, especially if it's something new here with the Page of Wands, like a new project you're working on. Perhaps that's why there may be this, you know, imbalance here, is either, and I'm hearing like not wanting to start again, or not sure how to start again, or wanting to start something new and not sure how to do it. Let's get some clarity. Tell us more about the obstacles. Hearing the word perseverance. So yeah, so then we get the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. There is definitely a need to balance your energy, for sure. And definitely focusing on the now. There's this energy of really being in the now. Let's get one more. There's a need to plan as well, especially if it requires some type of financial outlay. There's a need to have some sort of plan in place. Yeah, there's a need to create stability and a strong foundation. So this requires planning. We've got the Lovers card here when I asked for another card. And so this is talking about union and coming into balance. There may be an opportunity to work with other people as well. The Lovers is Gemini energy. So speaking to, you know, finding perhaps collaborations or business partnership. If it's not work related, then, you know, people that you know will help you in your process, maybe your partner, that you can have conversations with around what it is that you're questioning, what it is that you're experiencing, and if not that, coming into balance with yourself, as in bringing together those aspects of yourself that for most part we think are all separate, but essentially all of that makes a whole. All of those aspects of us. There's no, you know, people like to put this emphasis on the light and the dark and all of this, but it's all just one. It's all just one consciousness. So that's what the Lovers card is about coming into union with that one consciousness. So we've also got the Eight of Cups in the guidance. It's showing up in the reverse. So there's a need to not escape this. There's a need to really sit with what is happening for you, what this process is. I feel like it's going to teach you a lot. So there is definitely a need to be with that and navigate through any challenges, whether that be mindset or otherwise. And yeah, just not avoiding any important conversations and not dismissing any shadow or emotions that might be coming up to the surface while you're navigating all this. Because what that is going to help you do is get into what I find more empowering, is learning from or listening to someone who has actually had lived experience, or what they're teaching is fully embodied, fully understood, where that person has worked through say, for example, a limiting belief or shadow aspect. They've worked through that so they can speak from that experience, as opposed to someone who's just book learned or course learned or, you know, done all the things in terms of training. There is a massive difference in, what is that word? Limbic resonance. So really being able to embody and express what you teach because it's part of who you are, not a learned device or learned modality, if that makes sense. That's very empowering, and that is how you can step into the leader that you want to be, or if not in a leadership, if not a leadership position, just how you show up in general. anything that comes to the surface, any shadow that needs to be work through it. Be with it. Because when someone else, whether a client or a student or a family member, goes through the same thing, which is almost like 90% guaranteed, we all go through the same things, just in a different way, you can then express it from a very empowered and grounded space, because you've been there, you've experienced it. And not to tell people what to do, but just to say, look, it's okay, everything's going to be okay. I've been through this. I know, I've experienced an aspect of this, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get through it either, but I did. And that is really, I feel, very, very empowering for anyone, whether you're a leader or not, to be able to help people from that experiential space. Okay, tell me more about the Eight of Cups. So we've got Nine of Wands and the Seven of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Wands for me is a card of perseverance, of hanging in there, having strength to persevere as well, resilience, what's this one? Tell me more about the Seven of Cups. And yeah, not getting too caught up in if you are juggling, if there are some different avenues that you can kind of work with, not getting too caught up in all the choices. There's a definite need to be here now, with the Seven of Cups here in reverse. There might be this idea that you need to make a choice, but we are limitless beings, and there's a need to just see it from a different perspective. And know that either choices, there's no, and I spoke about this literally in the fire sign reading, so I don't believe necessarily in a good or a bad choice. There is just a choice. And so if you're, tossing up between a few things or two things where you're not sure which way to go, it doesn't really matter, because I feel as soon as you make a decision, or as soon as you take action, everything will kind of fall into place. And as long as you're remaining present, as long as you're staying grounded, any decision you make will come from that space. So then essentially it's just a choice. It's just a decision. It doesn't matter either way. And I said this in the fire sign reading, what is for you will never leave you by. Never move past you, something to that, whatever that fucking saying is. But yeah, there's just a need to let you know that even if those things don't work out, there are other options available. Even if we perceive there not to be, there might not be any in our immediate perception of the world, like the right now. But in the greater scheme of things, there are multiple options. There are multiple possibilities. But the key is just to remain here, now. to remain focused, to remain attentive, to remain grounded, and to persevere. Okay, where are we now? Let's get a couple more cards. What else do our water signs need to know? Okay, this song has been playing in the mind throughout, and I'm only just realizing it. This is really strange. It's Miley Cyrus Flowers. So I'm not sure if this is what this is in regards to, but that it's replaying in my head. I can buy myself flowers. It's the chorus. I can buy myself flowers. Yep. I don't know why. I just realized, I'm like, wait, there's a song that's playing. It was very, very subtle, which is why I didn't like. This is what I'm saying about being here right now, is if we're not present, if we're not practicing presence, we are actually going to miss all these other opportunities that are showing up for us. So we have this perceived notion that we only have a few choices. There are limitless possibilities. However, if you're not practicing presence, if you're not operating from the now, you may miss it. If you're so worried about choice 1 and choice 2 and you're not taking any notice of anything else, you may miss it. So I damn near almost missed that song. So I don't know if that means anything to anyone. Please let me know in the comments below, because I'm really curious. It was literally playing for a while and it just got louder and louder and louder. So good old Miley Cyrus. Or, you know, and if it's not the song itself, perhaps it's the scenario. So I don't know. Let me know if that makes any sense to you guys. It's definitely, I can buy myself flowers. So maybe you need to give yourself flowers as well, as in like acknowledge yourself, acknowledge the achievements and where you've come. The world card, right? I saw that twice. So appreciating and accepting and acknowledging where you've come from or how far you've come, acknowledging your journey and celebrating your achievements. All right, what else do our water signs need to know, please? So we've got clean it up. So this could speak to planning, organizing, getting organized, having a plan in place, or just tidying house, as in decluttering, getting things organized, simplifying, reducing the noise. You know, because when there's too much noise around us, and I don't mean literal noise, I just mean energetic noise, we can miss that as well. We've got loyal heart and peace. Loyal heart. I feel like what this is saying is that you have good intentions, you know. There is genuine intentions, and for the most part, you are operating from a heart space. The number 5 is significant here too. 2s, 3s, 5s. I don't know what it is, but there's something about smell. I picked it up the minute I started this read. There was something about smell, and then we're singing about flowers. Maybe go outside and smell the roses, smell the flowers. What is that? There's definitely something about scent or smell. But yeah, I feel that with all of these cards showing up, you know, you have a good heart, you have good intentions, and you do want peace of mind, you know? There is this if this is not what you're teaching about compassion and peace and love, then this is something that you're wanting to or are already embodied within yourself, embodying within yourself. What else do our water signs need to know? Oh, this is a lot. Okay, no, I'm not taking that, sorry. That is way too much. Can I get one more card, please? Yeah, and just be very careful of anyone tugging on your energy. I just had a hair yank. It was quite subtle, so be aware of those subtle energies that are that could be interfering. We've got by the book and all that glitters. So yes, stay super grounded. Do the planning that's required. And I feel there's something about masks being revealed here. The bottom of the deck, we've got deep knowing. So yeah, I feel like some things are going to be revealed here as well. Either they'll be revealed or there'll just be a literally says deep knowing, just a deep understanding of things. Okay, let's get some healing cards and then I will leave it there. For the last water sign reading for this year. Oh my God, can you believe it? I mean, if I just looked at this card, I would say this was a bloody fire sign reading. Hey, so do watch the fire sign reading. There were a couple of songs that came through that as well. Wow, that song is on repeat. That's weird. So like, I have not listened to that song in ages. So yeah, let me know, please. Why am I over shuffling these? All right, what do our star signs? What do our water signs need to know? Might be dealing with an Aquarius. We've got think before you speak, be exacting. I'm pretty sure I said that before. Being very aware of what is said, not for anyone else, but what we speak is pretty much spell work. So what you're saying is energy. What we speak, what we think is all energy. What else? And also, I think to be exacting, it means be very specific with how you communicate. Be very direct. I think this is a general message for every person on this bloody planet. Okay. It's just too much wants to come out for you here, water signs. So let's just get a couple, please. What else do our water signs need to know? Lean back. Chill. Heal. Embrace loving touch, reach out and connect. Maybe you need to hug some people. You know, maybe that is what part of what you do is actually bringing touch into your field. Transform hereditary pain. The past does not bind you. Let's get one more. Perhaps this is what this is about. This reach out and connect is about a past connection or past situation that needs to be looked at again. Oh my gosh, come on. Release inner tension. Move into fluidity. We've literally had the tension card here the whole time. So we could be embracing all the aspects of who we are. So if you're operating from a more masculine space, then embrace the feminine, and vice versa. Explore the hidden you, reveal yourself. I mean, all these cards are speaking to just stepping out as your authentic, bold self. Fierce self, whatever self, just your authentic self. At the bottom of the deck, we've got let go of comparison, embrace the unique you. Embrace your authentic self. Okay. Well, there you go, water signs. I hope that resonated. Let me know in the comments if that song made any, ticked anything for you. I'd be really curious to know. Other than that, thank you so much for being here with me. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't post anything specifically related to water signs before the end of the year, take care of yourselves, be your authentic self, and take some deep as breaths. Bye for now. Mwah.